Traders, we are here Sunday night, ready to go for this week. Futures ripping already. I believe they're up 20. Let's double check. So I don't want to tell you it was rippy, but it's rip. It's up 17.5 points. Feels good. Last week sucked. I'll be honest with you. For me anyways, it was not good. I got chopped up. Always happens after these big moves. You get these choppy daily candles. This is just literal chop. Fake breakdown of the flag. I mean, you get rip. 4 days in a row, 5 days in a row, just rip. And then they top you here once you get close to the close to the daily supply. They rip you back down to the 8-day. They test it. They pop it back up and it hangs out. You think you get another nice day, and then they rip it right back from you. This is the day. This is why weeklies, lottos, like, you got to play small, and you have to play to your account size. I can't stress it enough. I mean, I was I have a almost 7-figure account that I'm playing with, and I was playing $1,000 to $2,000 to $4,000. I think on Roku I had 21,000 on a position that failed. I lost 21,000 on it. Let it go to zero, and that's what I was willing to lose. But also made a lot of money on Tesla and all that other stuff. So it was just more of a break-even week for me. I really didn't make that much. It was green, but maybe by a couple thousand. It wasn't that great. I personally am a much better swing trader than I am a lotto slash scalp 10 seconds in and out type of trader. My strength is SPY. I do SPY pretty well. For example, we have the 440s for tomorrow, and we also have the 440s for Friday. So we're looking for this 443 area to take on for the 6th, and then tomorrow, I mean, we're already at about here. We're at 4407 ES, so we're right here. We're over the previous day's high, 440.06 roughly. So SPY pretty easy then. Well, by the way, alphatraders.com. See our Twitter at AlphaTraders Inc. You guys see it on the screen. Sign up. Come on, you're not going to be disappointed. Trust me. We just had a member tell me it was a great story. His son is I believe is handicapped, and he's from being in the group over the past 7 months, I think it is. He's been able to renovate his house to help accommodate the wheelchair, and he's able to take his son to the best doctors in the country now because of what he's been able to make with this, which touched my heart, man. That's just really good stuff. This is why you do it, man. This is just like, it's why you put the time in, thinking you've affected somebody else's life like that. It really meant a lot to me. But yeah, I mean, that's the type of life-changing thing options can do to you. They can either ruin you if you're not disciplined and you don't accept losses when they come, or they could make you rich, or they could change your life. I shouldn't say rich, just they could change your life. And I think a good approach with options is, tight leash, understand your risk, play small, and move from there. You really want to take shots with profits at the end of the day. That's really what you want to play with. I personally, what I always tell people is I like to get up to 100% because I cut half. It's a free trade. It's stress-free trading. If the other half goes to zero, I didn't lose anything. Didn't lose a thing. And even I struggle with that sometimes because I'll get up to 180%. I'm like, I'm not taking any, and then my little alarm goes off in my head, says that take half. It's 180%. You're guaranteed profit. So that's always kind of where I'm at with that. But SPY is pretty easy. We're going to open up over Friday's high. Your next battle is going to be the high from the 26th, which is 441.03. Which is roughly 44.11 ES, which I don't think we're going to have a problem with. The only one, 44.18 ES is where you really want to be. Over 44.18 ES we are right to 440, probably 443 area here before it'll probably chop again just like this. I don't see an explosion coming out of this in August. What I see is it's just going to keep grinding. You see this wedge? It's literally just riding that wedge. I see it continuing. There will be FOMC. I'm giving you guys my free alpha here. FOMC over here. We're going to have SPY at about 447, 448. And they're going to pull that freaking rug September into October. And they're going to pull us all the way back down to 440. It might even fall below because you're going to be looking at the 50-day here. Where's my 50-day? I got too much garbage on here just because I like the way it looks, because it's aesthetically pleasing to me. Moving average. Here we go. We got the EMA 50. We got them on the clouds. The 50 is the, let's see, right here. This is your 50-day, the green one. So it'll probably go like this as it flattens out a little bit, and then it'll come back up, and then it'll flatten out again, and it'll come up, and it'll flatten out. So my guess is they'll probably drop it down. The 50-day will probably be around 436, 437. It'll be somewhere around there, and they'll drop it out of here, and then we'll rip back up, unless there's talk of tapering or interest rate rising, which they're not going to do interest rates. So you're talking about taper. The taper will start the pullback. We'll still be in a bull market. I think once the taper happens in 2022, I think you'll see the market just start it'll be a little more fluctuating in the sense of we're not going to be just this just ascending triangle. Because what's happening is over time, this ascending triangle is actually working itself into a position to fail. So, and what I mean by that, and don't get all bearish on me, people. I'm just telling you how it looks here. And again, I'm not a huge chart guy, but I'm not dumb either. And I see this chart. You're gonna get really, really tight here. And this is, we're talking September, October, and this wedge will probably get a little higher, and it'll get a little wider. Like, that's just how wedges work. They get wider and they get higher. I mean, that happens. Just somewhere, to me, it's somewhere over here. Somewhere in November, or maybe late October, somewhere here. It's gonna fall if they start talking about tapering. But this huge ascend. But I mean, honestly, this thing could go on for another year. Just bounce, and it'll just get wider and wider and wider until they say, okay, interest rates are rising, and crash time. Not crash time, but correction time. And you're looking at, I mean, we could be at 490, 500 SPY by then, and the correction will take us down to 3, probably whatever the 200-day is at that time, which is probably like 410, something like that. So, all right, enough of that doom and gloom stuff. I'm not trying to doom and gloom you guys. I'm just trying to give you guys a heads up on future happenings. So Qs are pretty easy. I mean, you can just look on the daily on this stuff. It's pretty easy. Again, I'm not staring at charts all day. I just look at charts on the weekend because it's good visual, and I like the clouds. I'm not gonna lie, they're aesthetically pleasing. They're very aesthetically pleasing. It makes me happy to look at them. Green is good. Blue is, hey, it's good, but it's not bad. Pretty much Qs reclaimed the 8-day. That's super bullish. Once they did that, you knew it was rip time. Rip mode was engaged to me at this point when that happened. If you look at the 65-minute, I love the 65-minute. Brian Shannon, shout out. I don't know you, you don't know me, but shout out, brother. Actually, there's a little gap here on the 65. I didn't even see that. Let's see here. Where did it reclaim that 8-day? Back to the daily here. 8-day was 364.35. 364.35. 64.35. So it was just playing with it all day, really. This is it right here. It's also the anchored VWAP from the local low here. Very interesting. But it just played with it. It went over, came back, dropped a bit. I mean, it just played with it. Once it closed over, you're pretty much good to go. This week, it's my second favorite indice. I'm looking for 368.89. See how it goes. But my favorite ETF is the Russell. If you guys watch any of my videos, I said this is a great risk return. I said you buy it between 2.7 and 2.11, maybe 2.12 if you want. Buy it anywhere in here. You're going to be happy. And what do you know? Rip the next day, bring it back down, little small falling wedge, rip it back up, bring it back down. A lot of sellers here. This was that off day. Ripped it right back. Once it went above this high, you were like rip mode. You could have bought there. You could have bought here, whichever you wanted. Once it got the anchor VWAP from the lowest lows locally, any way you shape, form you wanted to do that, is, once it cleared the low from the day before, whatever, you could have bought it here at 250. Remember the market usually gives you two chances. So there was one, there was two. It gave you two if you really look at it. I actually gave you three if you really want to count this, but you can't get gapped up and whatnot. But really gives you a higher low because you have to remember that these algos and supercomputers are trying to, they build structure, they build repeatable structures in their code so that they recognize the pattern and they're controlling the pattern of when to sell, when to buy. Remember all these billions of microtransactions they're doing. They'll make $800 on IWM, and then they make another 900, another 800, another 900, and then they sell, and then they lose $1, and then they're done. But they're overall, all of these algos, they're building off of, they're trying to build things off of prior supports, resistances. They need numbers. You have to remember, humans control them, but when the humans let go of them, they're building patterns that the humans have put into them. So even when they're smart and they're learning, they're still building these same patterns. You see this big channel? It's the same pattern. You can buy it here at 211. You could have bought it here at 208. You could have bought it here at 207. You could have bought it here. It's not hard to see this channel. Once it gets within 5 points, it's probably a +5 of this bottom part right here, this 207.35. I wouldn't say 204. It's a little far. Like this 207 to 212 is your buy zone. You just chill and wait. And then you buy it, and then you buy some swing options like we did on it. We actually bought them too early. We bought them up here. Bought them like right there because I thought this was going to hold. This was the 100-day, I believe. And I thought the 100-day was going to hold, and it didn't. So I just held them. But I bought them for September. And then I'm like, you know what? At 211, I'm going to buy some more. So we bought the 215s for September, I believe. So, I mean, they're well in the money now. They're going to be well in the money when it gets back to all-time highs this week. I mean, we're looking at a rip show here. So, for me, it's going to gap up tomorrow, close at 221. It's probably going to, once it clears 224.44, I said 225 on Twitter, I believe. Might have been 224.44. I don't know exactly, but once it clears 224.44, we're off to the races over the next few weeks, back to all-time highs, as predicted by me, your boy. I said IWM is going to rip. I even threw it on some other people's accounts that were talking about IWM. I actually gave them the actual days that IWM is going to start rip. This is a little rip, but the rip's going to come really here up to there. That's all I got to say about that. Let's go into names. Tesla. I left the line just because I like lines. And they're fun. They're fun to draw. That's the one thing about charting is like when you chart, you literally can just draw freaking lines anywhere you want. Oh, these two, That's why I never understand Elliott wave. You can just like, it's going to go here, it's going to go here. And it's like freehanding. Like it's literally freehand art. You're literally just drawing wherever you want to draw it. They're like, oh, measured move to here and here. And I'm like, I don't think that's how that thing works, man. Good for you guys, you Elliott wavers, if you guys are Elliott waving. Like, it makes no sense, and I don't think it works. Anyways, Tesla, super, super, duper, duper constructive, finally. If you kind of look, it kind of gives you, in the past year, this number was big. As you can see, like, if you just drew a line, just look at my little line here. Like you can see once it crossed here, it broke up again. This was the big stocks. No, this was the winter run up. Stock split was over here. We caught all that. That was money. And then this was money. I got chopped up a little bit in this thing. Stopped playing it for a couple weeks. I was like in here. Caught some puts, but this is looking good. It's pretty easy. Everybody and their mom can see once it's over 700, it's rip mode to 750. Like it's 750. Some people might say 716 might give it a little bit. Sure. Market makers may push on this, this resistance a little bit. Sure. But if it's over 750, you're going to get 780, over 780, back to all-time highs. If not 870. This thing's going to rip the frickin' pants off you. I've lost probably... On my swings, I'm actually down. My lottos, I'm actually up on Tesla this year. My swings, because this was in... Oh, no, it's right. I caught this move here too. So I bought some swings back here for June that expired worthless. I probably lost about probably about 35,000. And then started buying them down here. These 600. I was buying the December expiration 7 and 800s for that. So we're sitting in that. They're looking pretty good now. Just had to hang on. Tesla looking good. Super through 700. That's your number. That's all you need to know. It'll get 750. Go 720 and then 750. Sure, there you go. If you're a conservative person. One of my favorite ones in the whole world, Futu, been hit hard by all this China news, but the news just brought it back to its channel. Fake break below. I wasn't looking at it this day, and I should have bought it. I was like, I'm an idiot. That's okay. What did the market do? It gave you 2 times, and I blew it again and didn't buy it. That's okay. This is going to gap up tomorrow. The key for anybody that's not in it is this. Is the 200 EMA. Some people call it they do 200 DMA, whatever. I like it. I like EMAs. I think they're a little more accurate. 112.41. That's why I said 112 on Twitter. 112. I put 112.54. I think that's what close enough. Anyways, through that number, you're going to start really running. You get to 128 at least, and then you could really see 141. And then if you want 157, I think this thing gets right back to here at 180. I really do. There's a gap to be filled, by the way. I mean, this over the next 4 to 6 weeks, there's no unless for some reason the China stuff doesn't get worked out, which I think it will. I just think there's too many people that know this thing can just rip a good 40 points from here. It'll be up 10, probably 12 in the morning. 112.54 is your number. Through that, you can buy the 130s, the 140s, the 150s for end of August. You should be all right. Next up is Amazon. The only reason I put it on here, I hate, if you know anything about me, I hate playing Amazon. I freaking hate it. It's just the worst stock to ever play in the history of, well, that's not true. That's not true. It's a good stock if it's moving. It's an awful stock if it's just doing nothing like this. And there's not a lot of buyers lately. Look at the volume. It sucks. I mean, this was the best volume day when it hit the bottom of the clouds here, the 34. That's what it was. I just think it's a garbage trading stock lately, but it is constructive. It has higher lows. Look, higher low, higher low, higher low. They bought it up. They started moving it. For me, let me get a little closer here. Let's really check it out. Let's really get in there. Yeah, I mean, that's a 200-day there, 32.48. I mean, I don't think it gets very much farther down. Retake 33.93. That's a big number. Really got to get through 33.68. Then you get 33.98. And then if you get through that, which is, we'll call it 3400, it's oh my mode, you're going to get 90 to 100 point day. So this is going to be tough. This 3,500 will be tough. It'll take a little while to get there. Man, these charts are so easy to read. This is ridiculous. Etsy. One of my favorites. My baby Etsy. I love you. Not only because you're a bomb website, but because you're freaking awesome stock. I love you. You got a double top here with higher highs. still have this channel right here. Let me get to the drawing tools. You still have this channel that you're more or less, like there's a gap right here. There's a gap there. We'll call it the top of the gap here, which is 180, 151. That's your gaps. That's your channel support. And then if you want it, you can call it 207.84 because this is an overshoot at the end of the day. 207.84. I mean, it's just a local channel. Let's see what the weekly looks like. And like I said, I go with these names because I know what the premium is, and it's always good to look at a chart, I guess, and get a visual. You guys are looking at it with me. So 250.197, that could be a good measured move actually. 227, that's another good one. So really, I mean, you take back, all this is clustered here. It's still green. It's still a buy on the weekly. Like reclaim 188. You can buy some really good swings for. You can buy the 190s probably for like 15, and that would be a good swing. Maybe 18. Because if it breaks these two weekly candles, like if it breaks this 211.82, you get 15 points off the bat. But for a swing trader like me, I like the daily. I like this little channel. I like where it's going. We'll check it out tomorrow to see what it does. It probably has a good day. I'd really like to buy it at 178. I don't think that's going to happen. I think the lowest you're going to get is 179, maybe 180. If it gets to 180, I'm buying it. Let's just put it that way. Like this is a buy. The +5 rule off the daily 200 EMA, which is 180. Like I'm buying it. I might buy it tomorrow if it's down. We'll see. Buy some 6 weeks out. And last but not least, Teladoc. Everybody's like, why are you talking about Teladoc, man? Why are you talking about Teladoc? Well, I'll tell you why I'm looking at Teladoc. See what I did there? So we bought swings here. We bought the 155s for, I think it was August OPEX. So 4 weeks from now. Well, it was 4 weeks. Now it's 3 weeks. And then earnings came and, whoa, total chaos, right? Oh, no. Why would you ever buy this? Why in the world would... Oh, wait. Why would you buy it? What? Ding, ding, ding. So my timing was garbage, but within 48 hours, it was it was green. So that's all that mattered. It was up 28%, something like that. Anyways, Teladoc looking good. This is a big area. This 168 area. If you're looking on the daily here, I use the 168 area because you're looking at the 100-day here. This is going to be a big area on the daily. Also, you have previous resistance at 174. So this, 168 to 174 area, probably a good profit-taking area. You can take some profit, let it come down, and then just wait for it to clear this. What's the number exactly? 174.32. You do have this hanging 200 EMA. I don't like declining 200 EMAs to buy under unless it's like pushed all the way down like Teladoc. Like this was bottom channel push down. You at least have room up to this 200 at 178. That's still 30 points away. Like you can trade that as a swing trader. You can trade this. Does it get through? Probably not. Teladoc's probably not going back to 300. If you remember, way back then, you probably don't. We caught this move here. It took a while. It took almost freaking forever, but we bought it here. We bought it here. I remember it. It was after a big day up and it came down, but it didn't break any type of structure. It didn't break any type of premium structure that I had. And I was like, oh man, I'll wait a day. And I waited a day and it got to 219 and we loaded this once it went to like 222. It took a couple days and we had to wait a little bit, but I'll tell you what, we got rewarded. We got rewarded big. So those are the plays for this week. Hope you guys enjoyed them. As always, check us out, alphatraders.com, at Alpha Traders Inc. Hit us up, follow us, come join us, make some money, have fun. Constant information all day. I am literally spewing information left and right to you guys. And it's all worthwhile information. I'm not saying like, oh, this is nice. Oh, this looks cool. Oh, it's up $1. Like, nah. We're spewing info. So, hope you guys have a good week. We will see you guys out there.